Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for this review session for your quiz on tissues, organ systems, and homeostasis. Alright, so to start off with, this is the order of organization in living organisms from smallest to largest. And then there's 4 types of tissue. So running through these, you have connective tissue, epithelial tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. So those are the 4 types. So connective tissue is made up of the fat, bone, cartilage, tendons, and blood. So you will have to know that. You'll be asked a question about that. There's a question about the function of epithelial tissue, so you're going to need to know that it does protection, filtration, absorption, and secretion. There's questions about the types of muscle tissue, so skeletal, cardiac, and smooth. And there's a question about the function of nervous tissue, so you need to know that it senses changes, interprets changes, responds to those changes, and remembers changes. Homeostasis, the steady state, it's really a process that helps to keep conditions in the body relatively stable or constant. Negative feedback mechanisms, they basically function to return the body to a set point. So negative feedback is going to go back to that set point, opposed to positive feedback in which you're moving farther and farther away from normal. So those deviations from normal are getting even larger. Temperature regulation, we have endotherms, which will monitor or regulate their temperature. They can sweat or shiver. And then we have the ectotherms that would lay in a bright sunny area to keep their body temperature in the right range. These questions, after this part that was on your notes, these questions are going to come from those coloring sheets that you did. So I'm going to run through a little bit of a review on that. With respiration, respiration is looking at you're taking in oxygen and you're exhaling carbon dioxide. So you have this uptake of oxygen and you have a discharge of carbon dioxide. And in terrestrial vertebrates, that is going to happen in the alveoli. So the alveoli are going to be where that oxygen exchange actually happens. And then from the circulation part of it, the arteries take the blood that has oxygen away from the heart. So it's moving that blood from the heart to the extremities, to the cells that need the oxygen. And then from there, going back to the heart, the blood is going to travel through the veins. And that's going to be the blood that doesn't have the oxygen in it, so it's deoxygenated. And then in regards to the fish dissection, so when we were looking at the fish, we know that they have gills, and so that is how they take in their oxygen as opposed to terrestrial vertebrates. And then there's one other thing that is, quite different or exceptional in the fish anatomy, and that is their swim bladder. So they have that swim bladder so that they can pretty much stay upright within the water, and it gives them some buoyancy, so they float. Not necessarily to the top, but they have enough float so they don't sink to the bottom of the lake or stream that they're in. And that's pretty much it. That runs you through the quiz review. So good luck.